First, I want to reference Freebie because it came up a couple times. I think we do have a contract renewal with them later this year, and it may be worth discussing if we want to do an RFQ or something. Send that out, because I know some of the other models that are very similar to Freebie, like that are essentially the same thing, have actually moved to a pay model. It's a very low amount still, but that money goes back to the cities that they operate in. So I don't want to get rid of something like Freebie. I think we need it to complement especially our new parking structure that we're talking about. We're more dependent on the garages. We need something like this to complement that, but if there's something where money gets kicked back to the city, maybe it would offset some of those costs. So I think as we get closer to that contract renewal, I think it might be worth talking about that. But anyway, more broadly, Mayor, I'm just frankly going to reiterate some of what I said last time. My stance hasn't changed. I appreciate you going and looking at things we could potentially cut, but in my opinion, most of those things would diminish the level of service we're providing to our residents. And we tried the rollback rate. I didn't agree with it then. I don't agree with it now. We tried it though, and it put us in not a great position financially. And I'm on board with trying to find efficiencies. I'm on board with trying to find economic opportunities for the city, but we need to stabilize our budget. I don't think anyone up here wants to raise the millage. We just realize we have to. And I think that to sit there and say, cut taxes, cut taxes, cut taxes, keep them low, that's easy to say. Of course you're going to get support for that. Everyone's going to support that. But it's hard to be like, well, we're not sustainable if we keep doing this. That's the hard decision. That's the leadership position. That's good government at the end of the day. And we're not talking about real money. We're talking about $10 per month difference. It's not real. That's on
a $400,000 house.
That's the weighted average that we got. You can question the numbers all day. Okay, let's say it's $20 a month.
Would you sell your house for $447,000?
No, but I pay $20 a month to make sure that my roads are paved, and that our police department's staffed, and that our fire department's staffed, and that we actually can still have our signature events. Yeah, I would happily pay $20 a month for that. Happily. That's the investment, and that's what we have to do. If we're promising residents we're not going to sacrifice the level of service that they deserve, that they're used to, and the level of safety that they deserve and that they're used to, then we have to make the maybe unpopular decision to slightly raise millage and then look at what it looks like over time, and it's still down from what it was in 2024. We cannot account for what the school district does. We can't account for what the county does. We can't account for property taxes going up. All we can do is do our best to responsibly lower our millage every year, and we had been doing that. But if we go super low to the point where we have to stop paving our roads for a year, where we can't negotiate with our police union because we're backed into a corner financially, where we have to sit here and talk about pulling guys off trucks even though experts are telling us that it will actually impact response time. We shouldn't even be having those conversations. It's ridiculous that we're in this position. We don't have to repeat that mistake again. We don't have to do that. We can fix it, and then we can still consider the things that you're talking about, Mayor, some of them. There's some of them I'll never consider, but some of them we can still talk about, because I agree with the idea of trying to find efficiencies here, but not at the expense of the level of service that we have to provide to our residents here.